Draw Muhammad Day. This is my take on the Draw Muhammad Day issue. Um, it's an interesting case study of what happens when you attempt to actually carry out an action of this sort, i.e., a mass movement or something along those lines, to get a whole bunch of people to make a particular point. Most people that participated in it, according to my observations, were pretty decent about it, and they were just making the point that freedom of speech is something that they're willing to go out on a limb to support, and that people shouldn't get death threats for silly things or for things that should be seen as silly. Now, what came out actually, which a lot of people have pointed to, is the fact that a lot of out-and-out haters, racists, or whatever you want to call them, Islamophobes, took the opportunity, jumped on the bandwagon to just make horribly offensive caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad, or just about anything Islamic that you care to come up with. Basically just taking the opportunity, hijacking it in a certain sense, to heap abuse all over Muslims in general. Now, I think that most people that participated in the Draw Muhammad Day issue could say, well, that's not our fault if these loonies jump on the bandwagon. There's nothing we can do about that. It's just, and we shouldn't be judged by the actions of these lunatics, or haters, or racists, or whatever else you want to call these people that would do something like this, that would use pornographic images of the Prophet Muhammad or whatever horrible things. That's not what this is about, but again, this is the internet, so you can't stop people from doing this. Now, if you ask me, that's a legitimate objection on behalf of the mainstream little slip there, Draw Muhammad Day, the mainstream Draw Muhammad Day participants. And I think that, yes, that anyone who is looking at this has a moral responsibility not to lump all these people together. That if you just drew a stick man of Thunderfoot, or just drew a picture of what you assumed, why do I keep saying Thunderfoot? If you draw a stick figure of the Prophet Muhammad, or if you just drew a picture of what you thought he might have looked like and said, there, I'm just doing this in the name of free speech, you shouldn't be called automatically a skinhead or a KKK member or whatever, because there should be a clear difference between the two in most people's minds. I actually believe this. This is actually a position that I think that any thinking person should take. Having said that, the same logic applies to people that you disagree with. If you're going to ask that you be seen in that light, i.e., I'm just standing up for freedom of speech, you should also be aware of the difference between Osama bin Laden and the average Muslim. The average Muslim can't really control people like Osama bin Laden. They can't stop him from flying planes into World Trade Centers. They can't control what someone does, someone that they've never met, a militant or a lunatic. They're just average Muslims that are living their lives. They don't. I'm saying, and it's not just. This doesn't just apply to terrorism. It applies to things like female genital mutilation. It applies to general Islamic extremism, the alleged pedophilia issue, things like this. Okay, well, if we use the same logic that we should actually apply to the people that are doing the Draw Muhammad Day issue, then we owe it to the Muslims not to criticize them for the actions of people that are utterly unrepresentative of the Muslim mainstream. It works both ways, and a moderate is a moderate, and an extremist is an extremist, and it doesn't really matter which cause the person is being an extremist is. He's still an extremist. Thank you.